zeros and ones. Good afternoon. How is everyone doing? How are you all doing? Come on in, come on in. Let me know how you all are doing. I'm getting ready to go work out. Getting ready to go do my walk. I don't know. It's kind of hot out here. I don't know. It is hot. But I'm going to get out. I'm not going to let that stop me. Come on in. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Hi, Joanne. How are you doing? Can you hear me? Just want to know, can you hear me? Hi, Keisha. Can you all hear me good? I got on my Bluetooth. Or maybe I need to turn it off. Let me turn it off. Hold on. Make sure I'm clear. Hi, Jacqueline. Let me turn up my phone here. How is everyone doing? I just wanted to come give you all a message. I was getting ready to go walk. I do 2 miles. I do my 2 miles every other day. I try to stay active. I need to lose some weight. I really do. I know it doesn't look like it, but I really do. I picked up a little weight. But listen, I want to talk to you all about this. I was thinking about this. I just dropped my daughter off, and I was thinking this morning. I was listening to a few podcasts, and I wanted to just come here and talk to you all and let you know, like, you don't have to subject yourself to certain types of people. I don't care if they are blood. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. You don't have to subject yourself to people who just insist on creating chaos in your life, who insist on just being negative, who insist on just crossing your boundaries, not respecting your boundaries. You don't have to subject yourself to these people. You don't have to allow them into your space. You can go no contact with them, or you can go minimal contact, depending on your situation. Depending on your situation. Because one thing about people who lack boundaries, who lack empathy, who lack understanding, they're dealing with their own demonic oppressions and demonic behavior. They got to deal with themselves. They have to work on themselves. But instead, they want to take all that evil and anger out on someone who's closest to them, out on someone who don't have boundaries, out on someone who's not going to stand up for themselves, because they don't want to lose that toxic relationship. They don't want to lose that toxic friendship or familyship. If people cannot respect your boundaries, if they bring in all this unnecessary chaos in your life, you don't have to be around them. I don't know where we feel, or I don't know where we get this from, because I used to be this way. I'm talking from experience. When I come talk, I be talking about things I have experienced, and I finally got a chance to look back on certain things that I tolerated for so long, and I'm like, I didn't have to tolerate that. I didn't have to put up with this person. Why did I feel like I had to tolerate dealing with this person? Like, you don't have to subject yourself. This is why a lot of people are getting sick nowadays. A lot of people are getting sick and are having all kind of strokes and stuff because they're so stressed out dealing with people and their demonic spirits. They're projecting and dropping all their demonic energy, demonic behavior, their evil ways. They're projecting and putting all that stuff onto to you. They're putting all that, and we just sitting. I don't care who it is. And when I say I don't care, that's just what I mean. I don't care. It could be your child, your mother, your daddy, your spouse. This is unnecessary warfare that people are putting themselves through. Like, it's unnecessary. Like, we just take ourselves through all time. That's why I talk about healing, and this is why I talk about doing the work on yourself. You got to love yourself first. Thank you, Jacqueline. I had this shirt. Oh, this is my son, my baby. I don't remember where I get it from, but thank you. But I don't know where we get this from, but we have to unlearn some of this stuff. We have to unlearn being sacrifices for people. We have to unlearn allowing people to just, okay, we're going to give them another chance. Their childhood, their mama didn't do. You had probably the same traumas. That's why you went through some of the stuff you went through. That's why you allowed some of the things you allowed. But it comes a time where you have to stop giving people excuses for their behavior. I'm not giving nobody no excuse. It's too much help out there. It's too much help for people to keep going through their same foolishness. Making excuses for people. No, it's too much help out there. No. It's too much help. I went through trauma. We all go. If you look like me, you had some trauma. Tell the truth, shame the devil. If you look like me, you experience some trauma. If your skin color the same color as mine, you experience some trauma. You did. But that's not an excuse to stay there. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. People don't want to take accountability. Adults, D. Yeah, no. I won't say no matter what age, but because when they're adults now, when they're children, we just got to deal with it because it's our responsibility as parents. And I know some of these children who are not adults, this is a different generation. We as parents, we got so much we're dealing with now that we didn't have to deal with when we were now we up against technology. When we're trying to raise our children now, technology has more control over our children than we do. Let's be honest. Technology is taking over raising our children. And it's not that we want them to take over and raise these children. It's in the school systems. Everything is being digitalized. Yes, it's addicting, D. It is. We're fighting against not just drug addictions with our children coming up. We're fighting against electronic addictions. That's a drug. It's not a substance like a controlled substance drug. Now we have to manage all of this stuff. So we got to fight with that with the children, with our younger children. We got to do the best we can. We have to pray, ask God to give us new strategies and stuff. But with these adults, you don't have to subject yourself to them. Hey, Dwayne, how are you doing, dear? With these adults, you don't have to subject yourself to them. You don't have to tolerate abuse and disrespect and people crossing over to your boundaries after you've spoken with them and told them, you don't like when they do certain things, or, you expecting them to treat you the way you are treating them. And people just insist on just doing evil to you. They insist on disrespecting you, insist on lying. Some people lie straight to your face with the straight face, and you pretending you believe it, and you don't believe it, but you want them to believe it because they're saying it out of their mouth, they're speaking it, and you just want them to know, okay, I want you to believe what you're saying, but I don't believe it. And you can't tell them you don't believe it because they believe everything they say out of their mouth. They believe their lies. The saying go, they lie so much until they believe their own lies. They believe their own lies. They do. They do. But I wanted to let you know you can go no contact with these people. You don't have to subject yourself with these people. All this silent, emotional gymnastics, this emotional pull and push and pull. You ain't gonna say nothing to me. They come around, they don't say nothing. You know, all this silent bullying and silent treatment behavior. You don't have to tolerate that. You see that foolishness and you let them go on about their business. You let them know I'm not gonna get in that with you. I'm too grown to be dealing with this silent treatment. One minute you okay, and the next minute you're not okay. And you want to try to control me with your silence and want me to figure out what's wrong with you because you don't came around silent. I'm not have time for that. Why even come around a person if you're not going to talk to them? That's the foolish thing. That's how sick people are. People are so sick. They want to be in your presence, but don't want to talk to you, don't want to communicate, don't want to be cordial, but they want to be in your presence. This when you know you're dealing with the demon. You dealing with the evil. When I tell you dealing with the demonic, you got to cut this foolishness off. You got to cut this foolishness off. I never, in my mind, and see, that's another thing. Chosen ones, you got to stop thinking people are like you. Stop thinking people think like you, react like you, empathize like you. Stop thinking this. Stop thinking this. Everybody's not like the chosen. Everybody's not like you. Everybody don't empathize how you empathize. You got people just straight up evil. They wake up evil. That's why a lot of these people who are like this, that's why they're always paranoid. That's why they don't trust nobody. They don't trust nobody. They think, and the people who are so evil, they trust no one. They think everybody's fake because that's how they think. That's in their minds. They think they think the world is how they treat people. That's what I was trying to say. See how we think the best of people? We give people the benefit of the doubt. We empathize with people. In their toxic, demonic brain, they think everybody's fake. They can't trust nobody. They think everybody's out to get them. They don't believe that people have good hearts because they don't have a good heart. They believe that people do things with intentions because they do things with intentions. You ever have people do things for you and they bring it up? I did this for you. It's just like some parents. They act as if you asked them to be here. They'll tell the child, I raised you. That's what the heck you were supposed to do. You were supposed to raise and feed and take care of me until I became an adult. That's when you know you're dealing with narcissistic parents. When they always got to bring up what they did for the child. That's what you're supposed to do. You fool. You a parent. You're supposed to take care and clothe and feed me until I'm legally able to do it myself. After you become legal, or after you decide you don't want to be here, or after you decide that you don't want my care, that's my job. Until you knock that door and say, you know what, I can do it on my own. Then you on your own. Exactly. It's like you don't have to. If we learn to go no contact or minimal contact with these little demonic spirits, your life will be so much better. You will have so much peace. You will be able to focus on the things you need to focus on. These demonic spirits like to distract you. They like to distract you from what God is intending for you to do. They're a distraction in your life. They're a distraction because you always caught up in their negativity. You're always caught up in what they're doing, what they're saying. Have you ever noticed when you were caught up in people dysfunction, you were always tired. That's number one, because they were draining. You were always tired. You could never focus on what you need to do. You were always sick in your body. You had some ailments always going on with you. Something was always going on. You started to think you were crazy because you were always feeling like Oh, this don't feel good on me. This hurting. That hurting. Like, it was always something. Always family drama. Somebody said this, it's just always something going on with people. I don't like all that drama. I don't like all that drama and dysfunction. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. When you finally get a taste of what peace is, you would rather be by yourself than to deal with people in their drama. You would rather be in your own little cozy corner by yourself before you deal with people in their drama. You'll cut people off so quick. They won't know what hit them. And they'll know not to try you because you don't have time for it. You don't have time for it. You don't have time for the back and forth. You don't have time for the gossip. Why you just can't communicate? If it's a misunderstanding, say that. You don't have time for the assumptions. All this negative energy. You coming around, you're not saying anything. People got to figure out what's going with you. You feel something is wrong, but you don't know what's wrong. They're not communicating to you that something's wrong, but you know something is wrong, but they're just not communicating to you something is wrong. You don't have time for that foolishness. You don't have time. And people don't understand why you don't want to be bothered. The best thing I've ever done for myself, let me tell you the best thing. I let go of my expectations of people. I let go of my expectations of people. I let go of my expectations of people. That's what I did. Because, sometimes we could expect things from people, and then when they don't meet those expectations, we're disappointed. I let people live their life. But one thing you're not going to do, you're not going to bring your dysfunction in my life. You're not going to disrupt my peace. You're not going to project your insecurities onto me. You're not going to make me conform to what you want me to do. I'm not going to do that. This when you know you got healthy boundaries. This when you know you're healing. This is when you know the work you're doing is working. This is when you know your work is working. You know how to release people and let them live the life they want to live. You live your life you want to live over there. You go ahead over there and live your life. We all got our lives to live. But I'm not going to allow you to stop me from being happy. Stop me from growing. Stop me from creating and building good relationships with people. Because we need good relationships. We do. That's why I built this platform, The Chosen Ones. We need to find good-spirited people to be our allies, to help us get through. We need community. And the enemy want to isolate you. The enemy wants you isolated, wants you thinking like they think. The enemy wants you thinking like they think, like there's no good people in the world. It's good people out here. You just have to test the spirit. When you see that dysfunction, you got to cut it off right there. When you see they moving sideways, you got to slide on out the way. That's what we have to learn. When people show us who they are the first time, we got to move on. But we don't know how to do that. We give people the benefit of the doubt. Oh, they maybe was having a bad day. No, there's no bad day in your character. Your character is your character. A bad day is just, you frustrated and, you snap or get frustrated in that moment. A bad day is not a character flaw. A bad day is not a character flaw. Your character is who you are. You having a bad day is just for that instance. It's just for that instance. That's not a character. That's not who you are. No contact or minimal contact with these fools, with these people. So you can stop being stressed out and start asking yourself, why? Why am I allowing this to go on? Why do I want this person validation? Why do I still want this person in my life? And they showed me, right? They don't want me in their life. They treat me as if they don't want me in their life. Why am I accepting this? Go back to your childhood. You'll figure out. You'll figure out. Why do I keep letting, these people mistreat me? They treat everybody else right, but they don't treat me right. Why do I still subject myself to this? Why? Ask yourself why. You'll get your answer. You're going to be in denial because some of you all don't know how to separate how people treat you from who they are in your life. Because some of y'all stuck because, y'all stuck because they blood. You're stuck in it because because in your mind, how you were brought up, your family is all you have. And rightfully so, that's how it's supposed to be in normal families. Because people got good families, loving, caring families. But some people don't have that. And you got to come to terms what your situation is. You can't look at somebody else's situation and what their family is doing in their life. Pray to God send you a spiritual family. Because the chosen ones, 9 times out of 10, everybody don't treat y'all right. Everybody don't treat y'all the same. And the enemy will use that against you. But the sooner you come to term with your truth, you'll be able to move on. You will be able to move on. You'll be able to move on. But see, we don't want to come to grips with the truth. The truth hurts. The truth hurts because it goes against what's wired in us. It goes against what we've been instilled. Like it goes against our beliefs. It goes against what we believe. Hey, Lord, remove my enemies. Praying to God, you praying to God to remove your enemies, then, he moved people out of your life that you thought you were close with until you open your eyes to the truth. Because some of us, to be honest, some of us be living in a fog. We be living in like this altered reality for some reason. We live in this as the chosen ones because we got an idea in our head how we want things to be, and we can create. One thing about us, we got a very creative imagination. We can create things that are even not true. Like we can create a life that is not reality in our head. But we do it for good. But the evil spirited people, they do it for bad. We do it because we want this fantasy. We want this fantasy family. We want this fantasy relationship. And you will make this person who's abusive to you, you will make this person be who they're not. You will keep having this false hope as if they're going to change miraculously into this person you want them to be. And they'll never be able to be that. They'll string you along because they know your desires. They know what you want. They'll pretend, but you can only pretend for so long. You can't be who you're not. You can't be who you're not. You can only pretend. And it's hard to be fake. That's why a lot of people hate the chosen ones. We are as genuine as we come. We can be ourselves. We don't have to have a mask. We don't have to hide who we are. You're going to get what you get. What you see is what you get with the chosen one. What you see is what you get. Some of you all have tried to conform, because I've done it. Some of you all have tried to conform to what people wanted you to be because of their projection. But you still were who you were. You were still a chosen one. But because you were not healed, you conformed and tried to be who others wanted you to be because of that people-pleasing spirit. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because of that people-pleasing spirit. You tried to become something you were not, just to please somebody else who wasn't, to please someone else who didn't know themselves, who didn't like themselves, who hated themselves. So you tried to be what they wanted you to be when they didn't know who they were. They don't know who they are. So they want you to be like them. The chosen ones, we know. We may have some flaws in areas, and we may have been bamboozled because we haven't healed that little girl within, little boy within, that people pleasing spirit, wanting people to see us, see me, validate me. That abandonment spirit that we have, haven't dealt with. That's how we were fooled. We were fooled because of that. But once you heal and wake up, and you recognize your flaws, you recognize where you went wrong, you recognize who you are, really, people are not going to like you, chosen one. When you wake up and you stop acquiescing to who people want you to be, the ideal they created and they projecting you to become, oh, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. You're going to be hated. That's going to be your new normal. To be hated, disliked, slandered, talked about, because you don't woke up and you don't got some skin on your head. You don't woke up from out the matrix. You don't woke up from out the dungeon, the fog of dungeon, the dungeon fog. The scales have fallen from your eyes. And now you don't care what people say. Let them talk and say what they want to say. You got a newfound freedom because you know who you are. You know who God made you to be. You know. You always knew something was different about you. Now when you tap into your power, it's on and popping. Is that what they say? What they say, I be trying to keep up. It's on and popping when you know who you are. When you start fighting back. The peace that you get. Because when you're connected to certain people, they bring a different type of warfare in your life. This is why you have to be careful who you connect with. Whether it's friendship, partnership, marriage, any ship. You have to be careful because their demons become your demons. Their demons become your demons. Their toxic relationships become your toxic relationships. Their family issues become your family issues. Them not working on themselves is your problem. You're going to become their personal life coach. Shut stuff down. Speak truth to people in the beginning. Bring stuff to their attention in the beginning. This is why y'all got so much warfare. Their problem with their moms and dads become your problem. You got a good relationship with your mom, your parents. You got a good relationship with your spouse, but your friend and her husband, they got a toxic ship, a toxic relationship. Not all that stuff transferred to you and your partner. Y'all got a good relationship. Y'all happy, in love, do different things. She dumping all her issues on you instead of going to talk to a therapist. She bringing that to you in your marriage and relationship. Now you battling. Transferring them spirits. Now you looking at your husband sideways and your wife. Because you got people like that. They'll see you got a good relationship with your spouse and they'll get jealous. They'll get jealous and be like, "Ooh, I don't trust no man. I don't trust nobody. I don't do women this and women that." And you didn't have no problem with your spouse. Now by talking to them toxic demons, you looking at your spouse sideways. You looking like, is he gonna come home? And let me see what he got. What he smell it. You got all kind of issues now. Because they don't release that pollution onto you. You focused on going to school, trying to get your degree. You focused on trying to get your business started. And you got negative Nancy and negative Nathan over there. It's hard starting a business. I wouldn't start a business. It's just too much time. It's just too much money. They never started a business in their lives. They never started a business, but they're telling you, oh, it's too much money. It's too hard to start a business. I know this person, they started a business and their business failed. I know this person who went to school and this, that. Everything you want to do, they're negative. They got something negative to say about it. That's because they're a hater and they're jealous and they got their own insecure demons that they need to deal with. But they want to talk you out of your goodness. And people are so weak, they don't even realize what people are doing. They don't realize what the devil is doing. Because he's still out to steal, kill, and destroy if you let him. But some of us so people pleasing, we don't want to say nothing to them because they're going to get mad. Let them get mad. Tell them demons, look, you started a business and it failed. I know God's going to bless my business. You speak life over your business. You speak life to whatever your marriage, your situation. You know what's going on in your situation. People do this in relationships. You got a good relationship with your children. You and your children got good relationships. You don't try to control them. You let them be free in who they are. You tell them the truth. You try to guide them. And you got people jealous because they don't have a good relationship with their children. They broke, busted, and disgusted, creating all kind of chaos, jealous of their children because their children is more advanced and more successful than them. They don't want you to have no good relationship with your children. This is why you can't listen to everybody issues. Like when I share stuff on here, that's not for you to take on. If you're not going through it, that's not for you to take on what I'm going through as your own. You don't take that on as your own, and people don't know how to do that. Just because somebody talking about something don't mean it's relating to you. Don't mean that's your situation. Now, if it's your situation, yes, you want to listen to people and how they got through things. But you don't want to take on people's stuff. And if you're not at that place where you can listen to something and not take it on as your own, you need to go heal. You need to do, it's still more work you have to do within yourself. But people get mad at you because you got good relationships with your children. Y'all have fun. You know, y'all laugh. Y'all go out to eat and do different things. You respect them. They respect you. People get mad. And they'll go to planting little seeds into your children's minds behind your back. Oh, you know your mama like this. Oh, you know how your mama is. Oh, you know how your dad is. Oh, you know this. Oh, you know that. Oh, you know when your mama was that age, she did this. You know your mama don't love y'all. You know when your mama was, struggling, having a hard time, your auntie had to take, all kind of little stuff. All kind of toxic things because they're miserable. One thing about people like this who I'm telling you to stay your distance, go no contact. One thing about these people, if they can't control the thing, everything, the narrative, if they can't control people, they're not happy. If they're not in control of moving their little demonic strings, if they're not planting seeds behind the scenes, if they're not lying, if they're not creating chaos, strife, discord, if they're not doing that, because just like how the chosen, how we like positive, good vibes, and that makes us thrive, and we excel when we get in a good room of people. It's like that we feed off that energy. And it propels us. It makes us happy. Just like you guys can come listen to some of my videos and you say, you know what? That video resonated with me. I went through that. And it gives you some sense of, happiness, agreement, motivation to let you know you're not going through it by yourself. Them devils, they thrive off negativity. They thrive off people fighting. They thrive off planting bad seeds. They thrive off discord. They thrive off you arguing. with your spouse, with your children. Anything negative. This is why you have to deny these people access. Don't let them know what's going on in your family, because any little thing, with children, right? With children, it's very difficult sometimes to get to children, to understand them. It's challenging sometimes to parent. And you a new parent, you trying to figure out things and figure out the best way. And you praying and asking God to help you, parent and be understanding. And if you say something, apologize. What people will do, these demons, if they're close to you, they can see you having a misunderstanding with your child. It's just a small disagreement, but these demons will come in and they'll make that thing bigger than what it is and have that child hating the parent. They'll come in and make that small disagreement or misunderstanding bigger than what it is, so they can create discord. These demons, they love it. They eat it up. They eat it up. They live and thrive off people fighting against each other. This is why sometimes you got to call that foolishness out. Don't sit back and see what's going on. Sometimes you got to call it out. Let people know, don't let this person cause you to lose your relationship. Don't let this person get into your head. Don't let the devil use you. That's my favorite word. Don't let the devil use you. They love it. And you wondering why. You think you getting ahead and you getting somewhere with your children or in your relationship with your spouse, and they come home with an attitude, all mad for no reason, and you trying to figure out what you did, and it's nothing you did. It's what people are saying. It's what they're saying behind your back. It's what the text messages and the DMs and the lies and the false narratives. This is why it's good to pray. I'm telling you all, if y'all don't believe in prayer, this is good to pray. Because prayer can go places where you can't go. It's good to pray, Lord, cancel out every demonic plot that is going on that I don't know about. Behind my back, expose the enemy, reveal. He'll do it. God will do it. He said we have not because we ask not. But we so afraid, and we're too broken down and tired because we fighting these demons every day. That's why you got to go no contact or minimum contact, so you can get your mind right. You can get your mind right. Get your spirit man right. You can't even focus on your spirit man because you too busy fighting all this negative energy, negative vibes, dysfunction, disunity, not on one accord. That's too much. Who want to live like that? That's not a way to live. That's not a way to live. Can never be on one accord. You can never be going in the same direction. Somebody always got to be deliberately trying to refuse and make you mad because you trying to move forward. They don't want to go forward. They don't want to go forward. But they want to keep you stagnant. They don't want to move forward. That's why they say misery loves company. When I tell you misery loves company, people don't want to succeed and excel and glow up, but they don't want you to do it either. And these will be people who say they love you, your siblings, spouse, friend, manager. People are people. Don't put no title on them. Watch their behavior. Watch their behavior. That'll tell you everything. We be in denial, especially when it comes to blood. We be in denial. We don't be think people try to hold us back. I've seen it. You'll have people celebrating everybody else, but they'll withhold their celebration from you. They won't congratulate you, but they'll congratulate everybody else because they don't want you to think. They don't want you to feel if they feel if they congratulate you, that'll help you get to where you're gonna be. No, you're gonna get where you're gonna be anyways. You don't need their congratulations. This is why you have to heal, because sometimes we be wanting people to congratulate us and they hating, they jealous. You got to call it what it is. And no, everybody's not jealous of folks. I don't live in that realm where everybody's jealous, but you got to call what you see what it is. Stop being in denial. We don't want to be in denial because people say, you always think somebody jealous of you. No, I don't always think people jealous of me. I see your behavior. I see your behavior. You don't congratulate me. You never congratulated me. Anything that I do, you never reshared it. You never reposted it. But you'll share somebody doing the same thing like me that's not even related to you, or that's not even friends with you, or that's not even married to you. They'll speak so highly of everybody else, but when it comes to you, because they know you got that insecurity in you. But once you break free from that insecurity, wanting their validation, once you break free from wanting their validation, once you break free and you know who you are and you know why God put you here, you don't give a flying flip. They can congratulate the president, whoever. You don't care because you know who you are now. You're not seeking their validation. You're not like a little damsel in distress. Validate me, validate me. See me, see me, see me. Because you have done the work. When you do the work, you take back your power. People want you to need them. They want you to need them because you want people to validate you because of the trauma you've experienced in childhood. Your mama not being there. Your daddy not being there. Your family not being there. You being adopted. You feel like you don't have a family. That's why you have to seek God so he can fill that void and you can stop looking for people to validate you. Once you learn to love yourself, you become a force to be reckoned with. You become a force to be reckoned with. Your confidence goes up. Your confidence. Your belief in yourself goes up. You won't be worried about what people are saying about you. You won't be worried about the lies because you'll be at a point to know the lies. Let them lie, because guess what? The truth will be revealed in the end. Let them lie. You keep working on yourself. You keep healing. And the truth will be revealed in the end. You keep glowing up. You keep becoming happy. You keep doing the work on you. You keep forgiving. You keep repenting. Lord, please help me forgive. Help me release them. Forgive them miserable souls. They miserable. So they want me to be miserable. Lord, I don't want to be in unforgiveness. Lord, help me to release them. Release me from anybody who I have a grudge against. Release me from people who have mistreated me, lied on me, slandered me. Lord, release me from that. I know vengeance is not mine. I don't have to get revenge. Your success is the revenge. You being happy is the revenge. You finding out what you like is the revenge. The revenge is healing, knowing who you are. You getting in the gym, losing that weight. That's your revenge. Your revenge is you going to seek therapy. You getting the coach. You work on you. You can't worry about what nobody else doing. Your job is to work on you. Your job is to work on you. Your job is to work on you. That's your job. You do the work. It's all about a journey to getting yourself where you should be, where you want to be. And just releasing people. Release people. Release your expectations of people. That's what disappoints you. You having expectations of people of how they supposed to be. The same way they have expectations of you how you're supposed to be. They think you're supposed to be sitting there letting them abuse you, misuse you, disrespect you, lie on you, and you're supposed to stay there. You're supposed to just say, okay, do what you want to do with me. Do what you want to do with me. Mistreat me. And have you ever noticed, while you sitting there waiting, thinking people are going to realize that they're hurting you, you're sitting there waiting, and they turn that thing up a notch on you. They turn it up because you have no boundaries. This is why boundaries are important. The more you allow a person who have no empathy to abuse you, the more they're going to do it. This is why it's your fault. This is why you have to stand up. This is why you have to heal. Because people are only going to do what you allow them. People are going to only do what you allow them. So you have to stand up for yourself. Even when it hurts. Even if you're confused. Even if you never stood up for yourself before. You got to stand up. Yes, you do. And when you finally take a stand to say, you know what, I'm not going to let this person disrespect me. I'm not going to let them treat me wrong. I'm not going to allow them into my space and I know they don't like me. I'm not going to allow them into my area and I know, they're out to harm me. I don't trust them with my children and they don't like me. When you finally wake up and get some sense and realize 1 + 1 = 2 and not make it another number, that's when you gain your power back. People want you to stay stuck and confused and pleading and begging for them to love you, treat you right. You shouldn't have to beg nobody. You shouldn't have to coach no grown person how to treat and respect you as a human being. You should not have to teach no grown person who's capable of going to the restroom on their own how to treat you. You got to remind them over and over and over. That's how you know you're dealing with a spirit. Deliberately do things to make you feel bad. Calling your names. You shouldn't have to subject yourself to that. It's time for you to heal. I was listening to this girl. She like reading these. Some of you all probably heard it. She likes reading these little Reddit stories. I don't know about Reddit. I guess people go there and share their stories anonymously and all that. But this girl, she's married to this guy who's just a hater. Let's just say that. Married to this guy. But anyways, her story was she didn't have any problems with him as long as she was doing for him. As long as she was overweight. As long as she was not taking care of herself and changing her lifestyle, eating habits. As soon as she changed her lifestyle, this is her spouse now. As soon as she changed her lifestyle, she said she stopped dyeing her hair because she was one of those little punk rock girls who dye her hair pink, orange, red. As soon as she let her hair be the natural color it was, she lost 60 pounds. She got a raise on her job. She started improving her health and stopped doing different things that she used to do in her relationship prior. She said that her spouse began to call her names. He began to make it hard for her. Like he called her fat because she was fat before. He called her fat. Say she'll still be the fat person she was. See, when people go to attacking, especially people like this guy, her supposed to be spouse, when they go to attacking, and this can go for a woman too. When a person goes to attacking your successes, you know, your degrees, your accomplishments, and they trying to downplay it, they're jealous. That is a jealous-hearted person you're dealing with. That is a hater. You got to call it what it is. We don't think our spouses could hate on us. Yeah, sometimes they're the biggest ones. They're the biggest ones. A partner wouldn't do that. But a hater as a spouse would do that. They would talk about, I don't need degrees to be smart. Or they'll talk about, I don't need to, you know, like, he even tried to talk this girl out of going to, she was doing, according to her story now, this is her story. She was taking a class, some personal class, like was it some creative class or something? Some creative class. Like, basically, she was taking the focus off of always doing stuff that pleased the spouse all the time, because he wasn't doing anything for her. This was a one-way ship. Basically, she took all that energy that she was putting on him, fixing his food and all this stuff, and she wasn't really taking care of herself, had gained all that weight, but basically making him a responsible, functioning human being, a partner. Oh, it was a problem. And I was listening to the story, and I thought it was so sad, because I know many people that do this. Many people do this. All the focus be on pleasing that person. You're giving so much of yourself, and they're only taking. They're only taking. And there's nothing wrong with taking care of your spouse, your partner, but you shouldn't be the only one that's giving. You should be the only one that's pouring out, because that will drain you. And most people are drained in relationships because it's one-sided. You're doing all of the work. And there is a time where, if you're in a partnership, you know there is a time where you may have to carry the load in one season, and they may have to carry the load in another season. That's what you call a partnership. But when it's time for them to carry the load for you, oh, it's a problem. You lazy. You don't want to work. You this, you that. But this is a different season. You don't want nobody like that. You want a partner who's going to be there, support you through your accomplishments, and not be jealous because you want to start a business. You want to start a business, they don't support you. They don't cheer for you. Your partner should be your biggest cheerleader. You shouldn't have to go outside of nobody, because that person should amp you up. You got a personal hype man if they're not a hater. If they're not jealous, you should have your personal hype man. Babe, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You said you were going to do it, and you doing it. Not sitting there. You were like, babe, look what I did. And they looking at you like, so? That's what you want to do. And not saying that person got to do what it is that you're doing because you have your own interests, but you shouldn't feel that hate. You shouldn't feel that jealousy. Because sometimes people do that to stop you from doing what it is that you want to do. Everything that this girl was doing, he talked down on it. You don't need nobody like that. You don't need that's not a support. That's not a spouse, a husband. That's a hater. Lost weight. You should want your spouse to be healthy. You should want them to be healthy, because they're a heart attack waiting to happen if they're overweight and not taking care of themselves. That's not good for you. Not good. But I thought it was sad. Listening to that article just made me want to cry. Made me want to cry. Because now she's trying to go improve herself to some. That's what it sounds like, Mobile. It sounded just like that. Now she got to prove herself that she's still who she was. And when I knew from the story, I knew this was a demonic, jealous, hating spirit. When he told this girl she'll always be fat. She don't lost 60 pounds. So he told her, you will always be the fat person I know. I'm like, what type of person you married to? That's straight up hating. Straight up hating. She woke up. Yes. I thought it was, I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, this got to be something made up. You know, you listen to stuff. And now she got to always reassure him because he's insecure. She got to always reassure him because she gained power and autonomy over her body as far as eating healthy, looking good, changing her appearance. Instead of seeing that as motivation, like my spouse doing it, I'm going to do it. Because I've seen this couple, they both were overweight one time. And I'm not here to put down anybody who's overweight. I'm just using this as an example. This is how you should be with your partner. With your partner. This couple, they both were overweight. And they became fit together. And that was a beautiful thing to see, that they both became fit together. They both went on the journey talking about how hard it was and the things they struggled through, but they did it as a partnership. It was years ago I saw this, and they both look amazing, but they did it as a partner. One wasn't hating on the other. They did it together. And when you find yourself in situations where there's no unity, there's no partnership, you're in for a toxic ride. You hear me? You in for the worst abuse in your life. You're in for the worst emotional, physical, sometimes abuse, mental abuse in your life. When there's no growth together, you're in for a fight. You hear me? You're in for a fight that you didn't realize you got yourself into. You didn't realize you got yourself into it. Because people don't understand abuse is very subtle and sneaky. You don't even know you've entered into an abusive situation. Most people, because when they got into the situation, it was familiar. They haven't dealt with their childhood issues. So when you got into that toxic ship, it was familiar. So you didn't see anything wrong with it. You didn't see anything wrong with it because it was your familiarity. Your mama and your family was toxic. So when you got into that relationship, that was familiar to you. It wasn't until years later that you woke up and you realized, dang, this wasn't a marriage. This wasn't I was the only one loving in the marriage. When you wake up, I was the only one giving. When you finally wake up. And this could be on both ends. It's not just for men. It's for women too. And this is how you know you were in something that was toxic. This is how you know. I'm going to give you a few pointers. You're the only one empathetic. You're the only one empathetic. You're the only one making suggestions about how to improve the relationship, how to get better. You're the only one suggesting therapy, going to counseling, you're the only one. You're the only one doing the personal development, right? You're the only one trying to grow and deal with the things they say you got going on, but they're not trying to work on themselves. Everything is your fault. Everything you trying to work on, you doing the work. You're the one trying to understand the dynamics in the breakdown. You're trying to implement the changes, and you're the only one. You're the only one giving. The relationship is so one-sided. If you're the only one depleted and the other person don't see any issues, you see all the issues, but they're in denial, you're in a toxic ship, baby. That's not a relationship. You in something toxic. That's toxic and is weighing on your mental. That's why you're tired. That's why you gained the weight. That's why you can't seem to get ahead. Any little progress you make is like is you can't be happy. You can't celebrate the progress you're trying to make because the relationship is so draining. No contact. Time for you to get out. Time for you to get out. You too busy worried about what people gonna think. That's another one of the fears. When you trying to exit, you too worried about what people gonna think. They gonna say this, they gonna say that. Oh, they been saying it. Get over it. Get over it. They've been saying it. You can't care about that when it comes to your sanity. When it comes to you trying to keep your sanity, you can't worry about anything else but your mental health. Your mental health. You got to put yourself first. It's not selfish to put yourself first. You've been putting everybody else first all these years. Everybody else been first. You're worried about what they're thinking. You're worried about what they want. You're worried about this and that about them. What about you? What about you? Do you have healthy boundaries? Can you go get yourself something without feeling guilty? You always got to celebrate everybody else. Who's going to celebrate you? Every year you do the most. You go out. You give. Everybody take. 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 You the new movie Taken, because all they do is take. Take. And you know what? Takers don't have any boundaries. That's why you got to set one. You got to set boundaries. Takers will drain you dry and leave you for dead if you let them. If you let them. And a taker is a taker. Stop putting labels. Remove the label. Mom, dad, child, husband, friend, co-worker, manager. Just put the word takers. Don't put no label on it. If they taken, they are taker. Will deplete you of your life force energy and leave you for dead. Leave you seeing the therapist. Leave you going in a mental ward. Leave you sick. You don't know what's going on with you. You got all kind of ailments. Don't know what's going on. If you let them. If you don't set boundaries. If you don't set boundaries. But then you become the crazy one because you start setting boundaries. You become the crazy one because you say, you know what, I'm not going to let my child kill me. Like the old folks used to say, I refuse. What they're saying the old folks used to say? You're not going to send me to my grave, my early grave. Because you got boundaries. Because your no is capital. And it's a period. Because your no is a capital N-O and it's a period. Because your no is a complete sentence. Now, you the evil one. But as long as you were given your last energy force, your last drop of everything, as long as you were giving, serving, slaving, I said it, you were loved then. Because you were not seen as a human. You were seen as property, a servant, like you're just supposed to serve and not receive nothing back. Unfortunately, people expect for you to do it because you don't did it for so long. It's what you're supposed to do. You done did it so long. It's normal. You done did it so long. This how long you did right here. It's crazy now. You done did it so long, although they mistreated you. They didn't value what you were doing. You've done it so long, it's normal. It's their expectation. It's their expectation. And when you snatch the life force from them, when you say no contact, no more, now you the wicked witch from the west. Now there go the slander bus, all kind of slander and evil, and you everything. Like they say, you everything but a child of God. He called me everything but a child of God. That's okay. You got to live with that. I can be all of that long as I got my peace. Whatever you say, I did. Whoever you say I am, I am. I am who you say I am. I am what you say I am. You got to rest in that. But long as you got your peace, that's what counts. You got your mental faculties, you're in your right mind. That is what counts. You in your right mind. That's the gift. That's the prize right there. That's the win. Because some people, and it's sad to say, and some of y'all gonna put a 1 in the chat. Some people wanted you to go crazy. Some people were looking for you to lose your mind. They wanted you to lose your mind. Put a 1 in the chat. Some people wanted to drive you crazy. So what they were saying about you and the lies that they told about you will make you look like you were crazy. But it only reversed on them. What they was wanting for you backfired on them. Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know. What they wanted for you backfired on them. They wanted you to go crazy, but they went crazy. They wanted you to lose your mind. They wanted you to, all the negative they wanted to happen to you backfired on them. Tried to make you shame, but they are experiencing shame and embarrassment. Because we don't live in shame. Chosen ones don't live in shame. We're bold, and we don't be broadcasting things. Squirrel thing dropped in my car from out the thing. We don't be broadcasting things. The doggone squirrel up there don't drop the something on my car. But we're not ashamed. See, they think people think when you're dealing with toxic people, they think everybody thinks like them. Everybody don't think like them. They'll project that onto you. That's why they never could trust you, because they don't trust themselves. They never could trust you because they don't trust themselves. So they think everybody's untrustworthy. No, it's them that's untrustworthy. You know how to trust people to a certain degree. You know how to let people prove themselves. They want all this trust from you, but they don't trust you. They want you to trust them, but they don't trust you. This is when you know you're dealing with people who just got issues. They want you to be loyal to them, but they were never loyal to you from the jump. Never. They want you to praise and worship them. Worship the ground they work on. They want to become your God. No, tell them we got us a God. We got a God. They want you to think like them and believe like them. When you have your own way of thinking, your independent way of thinking, that infuriates them. They want you to be one with them, but they don't want to be one with you. Did you get that? I don't think y'all heard that one. They want you to be one with them, but they don't want to be one with you. They want you to think like them, that toxic, negative way of thinking. But it's not in you to think that way. You're not wired that way. You're not wired. It's not who you are. It's not your DNA. You're a positive life force. You see the world in a different way. You see the beauty in things. Although you can recognize the evil, you see beauty in things, beauty in the trees, just life, period. They don't see it that way. You can't change who you are. Stop trying to change who you are. And see, the thing, what we do as chosen ones, and this is error in us. This is error in us. We try to get with people and think we could change them. We want to change them to be more like us. And they want to change us to be more like them. And it don't work. Because we're positive, they're negative. This is why I don't believe in opposites attract. I don't believe in opposites attract. I used to believe that when I was stuck in the fog. But I don't believe that. No, you need somebody on the same positive force as you. Even the word says to do not be unequally yoked. And that doesn't mean that unequally yoked doesn't mean that one believe in God and the other one doesn't. Or both of us need to be, believe in God. And if that was the case, you wouldn't have so many people who proclaim to be Christian. No, y'all need to be on the same positive force. Not one negative, one positive. No, both positives. It need to be another positive force that's hooked up to you. So y'all can move forward. Nope. Same positive force. Have some similar interests. Want to build something similar together. You want to, you want to have the same things in life. You want to build, leave a legacy, things like that. Not one being, don't care about nothing in life. That's important. No, y'all should be on the same. Y'all should be growing together on the same positive force. Moving forward, working through y'all issues and stuff together. Because we all got some type of trauma. But the goal is to be working through that stuff, communicating, getting through it together, not taking it out on the person. Not blaming the other person. Not inflicting pain on the person because you haven't dealt with your issues, your mommy wounds, daddy wounds. No. But that's what I want to come talk to y'all about. I didn't know I was going to stay this long. I was supposed to be going walking. And I done waited to midday. I think I'll still go walking though. Do my 2 hours. My 2 miles, I meant. Do my 2 miles. And yeah, that's what I want to come talk to you all about. It's okay. Go no contact with these people. Minimal to no contact. Minimal is you can't for whatever reason. No contact. You don't have to subject yourself to people who are just wanting to just create havoc in your life for no reason. As the saying goes, misery loves company, and it's so true. You got people who are not happy with their lives. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you smiling. They'll do anything to turn that smile into a frown. You don't have to be around these people. You don't have to subject yourself to these people. You don't have to go where they are. Stop feeling obligated. You don't have to go around them. You don't have to. I don't know who told us we have to, but you don't have to. You don't have to invite them places. You don't have to go to where they, if they invite you. You can say no. You grown. You are an adult. You got a right to say no without an explanation. You don't have to explain why you're not coming. Why you don't have to explain. Just don't show up. Don't feel bad if they don't invite you places. You don't invite them places. And if you got to be in that push and pull, that's toxic anyways. If you got to think about all the extra, if you got to premeditate, if you got to think about all the extra before you go to anywhere, you shouldn't go. You shouldn't go. Don't even go. That's a waste of time. You're wasting your energy. But you all have a good afternoon. Let me go. I need to go get me something to eat before I go walking. Probably eat me a banana or something, then come back and eat a salad. But yeah, that's what I want to talk to you all about. No contact or minimal. That'll help you retain your sanity. Retain your sanity. It'll help you. It'll help you. So y'all be blessed.